I would like to call upon the speaker number 4 for today, which is Toastmaster Akshay. Toastmaster Akshay will be giving this level 2 P1 speech. And so Toastmaster Akshay, over to you.
Understanding communication style.
So sorry, I have to say this as well. So it is understanding communication style, Toastmaster Akshay. Toastmaster Akshay, understanding communication style.
Thank you.
Humans are the consolidation of their habits. From childhood, we have heard about many habits and quotes about them, quotes about good habits and bad habits, like your habits will decide your future, or maybe bad habits die hard, and etc. etc. But what about strange habits? What about them? Every one of us possesses strange habits, some or the other, but I have rarely heard anyone talking about their strange habits in the public. Therefore, today, I want to take this opportunity to bring this topic on the table and ease out the pressure which we all have somewhere within ourselves. Good morning to distinguished guests and my fellow Toastmasters. I believe that we should at least discuss some of our strange habits with our friends and relatives. And if we tell them, it is possible that some of them might feel that we are mad or crazy, but majority of them will relate to us. As everyone knows that charity begins from home, so I'll start with myself. I'll confess some of my strange habits in front of you all. And I must say that it was difficult to jot down these habits because these habits somewhere happen subconsciously, not on a conscious side. And the disclaimer is these habits are remotely related to efficiency or productivity, unlike the mainstream habits. So taking it from the top, the first and the most common one is I eat food items in the order of least liked to most liked, so that the last food item I am eating can taste the best and the taste remains with me. I bet that at least half of you will agree with me on this. So, moving on to the next one, I measure time in music. What does it mean? For example, it will take me one song to cover one lap. So, I take it as a challenge that whatever the song which is playing in my head or in the headphones, until unless it gets over, I have to cover a certain stretch. And whenever I've analyzed this thing, that whenever I take it as a challenge, my speed automatically increases. And I'm able to cover that distance before that song gets over. And if I win, then I declare myself a winner inside my head. And if I lose, I try again the same thing in the next lap. So this weird habit of mine has sometimes helped me to cover 7 to 8 kilometers effortlessly. Moving on to the next one, this is the super odd. So if I am holding some baby, sometimes I get the weirdest impulses. What if the baby falls from my hand? So as already stated that this is the weirdest one, I will restrain myself to further discussion, but not to mention I become extra careful whenever I get these type of impulses. Now I would like to ask you a question. Have you ever tried to accomplish or complete certain small task before the microwave is done or the bucket gets filled with water? This is the fourth one. I open the tap in the bathroom and keep the bucket underneath, and now the countdown begins. I complete all the small tasks, for example, wrapping up my clothes, sorting my workbench, or maybe doing my bed, etc. etc. And somehow this timer acts like a catalyst and it helps me to complete all those small tasks which I was dragging all day long, and I can complete those tasks within no time. This actually helps me sometime because it actually comes as a surprise that I have done all those tasks within 10 minutes which I was dragging all day long. Moving on to the final one, This is not related to me. This is something which I recently noticed in my father. My parents visited to my place for a couple of weeks, and one of those days I noticed my father that he was watching some YouTube video related to horoscope. So at first I was not surprised, because it is very common in Indian households to look for basic horoscope before things like marriage or buying a house or buying a car, etc. So at first I was not in doubt. But another day he was again consuming the similar content, and this time I noticed, or my ears caught, the name of a political party being taken inside that video. I was in doubt. I stood up and I went to my father's room, and I asked him that, Papa, I have just heard the name of a political party being taken inside the video you are watching right now. He said, for what? I explained him my doubt that you were watching a horoscope video, so how come a name of a political party is being taken inside the video? So he said, oh, actually I was watching the yearly horoscope of that political party. Such a strange habit. Long story short, we shared a healthy laughter after that, because it is a very strange habit. Now I have shared my top strange habits with you, even about my father's. Do not pretend that you do not relate to any one of these, because somewhere I believe that every one of us has one or the other peculiar habits, but we restrain ourselves to discuss those habits out in public in the fear of being judged by the society. I request you all not to be so hard on yourself. Go out today and spread and disseminate one of your strange habits with your loved one, and share a super healthy laughter. That's all from my side. Over to you, Team Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay, for that wonderful speech. So the way Akshay correlated, gave that strange story of Akshay's dog and father. So, and we were also able to have a good laughter, which is actually a great idea.